And I want to start with something that I'm creating a course about AI products right now. And I'm always like, each day I have additional things to say about it, and it's so fast. And one of the things that I thought about is about deep fake and the fake era. And we start to see that in even in the elections in the US, you already have this into the campaigns. So how could we be our real authentic selves online and offline in the future when we have these capabilities?
Yeah. Um, so I think there's two parts to your question there, which is one around the authentic self and one around the trusting of information. And
Right.
so to take them in turn, actually, one of the ideas we explore in the book is that uh, our identities in online worlds maybe don't have to be so authentic, right? And actually, part of the opportunity of the digital space is it allows people to experiment. And so there we look at a platform called Ready Player Me, where you can create this avatar and it can be portable from platform to platform. And of course, the metaverse was the big trend, last year and for a couple of years before while we were writing the book. But we're actually, when we think about the future, and of course, as an author in this space, you're very mindful of, to your point about AI, the pace of change. And when you're writing words, on one day, people will not be reading them for a few years potentially. And underlying our view of the future, as we say, is this focus on what should be the normal as well. So actually, when we think about how society and how identity and how our experience of these online worlds are changing over time, we're also always asking ourselves what will not change, right? And this idea of basic human needs and thinking about how does technology enable us to do the things that will still be relevant in a few years. That was always something that we really interrogate very in a very focused way. So that's part of it around the online identity piece. We actually took a different view and said, and my view is actually one of the big misconceptions around the metaverse was, that it was going to be this replica of the physical world, and it would just be an alternative space, where we would behave similarly, because I think that is not how we think of digital spaces. As I say, they are more fluid, they are more experimental. You can do things in digital worlds that you can't do in the real world. And if they try and compete on a like for like basis, why would you do that, right? As an individual, because the real world
Yeah.
is richer. So that's one part. Then the second part of your question about I think the deep fakes, right, and the pace of AI.